Good evening and welcome to Metro Focus. I'm Jenna Flanagan. It was a rough and tumble weekend in New York politics ahead of this week's primary voting. Governor Cuomo is drawing heat after the New York Democratic Party, which he controls, sent out a mailer slamming Cynthia Nixon on Jewish issues, accusing her of ignoring anti-Semitism and misrepresenting her views on Israel and yeshivas. The governor distanced himself from the flyer, saying he had no knowledge of it and did not approve it. But Nixon called that idea, quote, patently absurd. It all comes as a new poll shows Cuomo with a 41-point lead over Nixon ahead of Thursday's primary. That same poll shows the race for Attorney General is in a virtual dead heat. So joining me now with this week's roundup of New York politics is Jonathan Lentz, editor-in-chief of City and State. Jonathan, welcome back.
Glad to be here.
So let's start with the governor and this mailer that went out. How much of a problem was this for his campaign, or was it a bigger problem for Cynthia's campaign?
I think it's a big problem for the governor's campaign. But you noted that poll. He's up, I think, 41 points. It's really an unforced error. I think the race is the governor's to lose. But it doesn't look good. This came from the state Democratic Party, which the governor runs as the governor of this state. And he denied any part in it. The executive director of the state Democratic Party denied any part of it. But it's worth noting that the governor is very much a micromanager, often has his hands in the details of a lot of things he does. So, maybe he didn't know, but it's a little suspicious.
Well, if we can put a pin in the gubernatorial primary race and focus more on the attorneys general, because while people like you and I have been very knee-deep in this race for a long time, a lot of people are just tuning in, and now we're seeing poll numbers starting to pop up all across the board.
Sure, and for a long time when people were paying less attention, public advocate Letitia James was really the front runner. Now you see a lot more of the campaign advertising come out. People are, paying attention to the ads on the TV. And this latest poll does show really a dead heat between James, who has a lot of establishment support, and Congressman Sean Patrick Maloney, who's really come up in the polls. He spent a lot of money in the race. He had some money from his congressional account that he shifted over. The interesting thing with him, though, is he's also running for re-election to Congress at the same time. So it's a bit unusual.
And of course, with the attorneys general race that we're also seeing, Letitia James is being packaged very much with Andrew Cuomo, Kathy Hochul, Letitia James is very much being packaged together.
Certainly, yeah. They're basically running as a ticket, and that makes the governor look good. He has an African-American woman who's part of his ticket. His lieutenant governor is a woman as well. But we shouldn't overlook also Zephyr Teachout. She's in third, but I think she's still in the mix. She is really the outsider here. Tish James, interestingly, has been the outsider for a large part of her career, but she's allied herself with the governor. I think she's taken a hit for that. But again, Zephyr Teachout, she ran against the governor 4 years ago, did pretty well, but lost. Ran for Congress 2 years ago and lost. She still has a chance in this race.
And of course, mentioning Letitia James, Zephyr Teachout, Sean Patrick Maloney, we should mention there is a fourth person also in this race.
Yeah, Alicia Eve. She's an alum of the Hillary Clinton campaign. She's worked for the governor in the past. But she's really mired down at like 3% in the latest poll. It's also worth noting that there is a large number of undecided voters. Again, you say people are just starting to pay attention. So there could be some real movement in the last few days.
All right, well, further down the ballot, where sometimes even less attention gets paid, we do have some primary races for the state Senate.
That's right. And in the most interesting ones, I think, there was this group, the Independent Democratic Conference, the IDC, a breakaway group of Democratic senators who allied themselves with Republicans in Albany. Didn't get as much attention at the time, but people are starting to pay attention now. There were 8 of them. The group is now defunct. The governor had a role in that. But there are 8 challengers trying to knock them out that are really unhappy, especially in this era of anti-Trump sentiment, that these Democrats worked really hand in glove with Republicans.
Are there any of these state Senate races where we could see a really unexpected upset? Because it seems like 2018 elections are the year for the unexpected upset.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a challenger who has the best chance, but the most interesting one, I think, is Alessandra Biaggi in the Bronx. She's trying to knock off Jeff Klein, a longtime state senator. He's the one who started the IDC. Yeah. And there's been some really powerful groups getting behind Biaggi. 32BJ, a powerful labor union, is really pushing for her. Again, most of the establishment support, I think, is going with Klein because of his longevity and his experience. But that's one to watch.
Okay, and very quickly, because New York State, we tend to focus so much on the Democratic Party and Democratic politics, but Republican side, are there any battles that we should be paying attention to there?
Well, I would mention State Senator Simcha Felder. He's nominally a Democrat, but since he's taken office in Brooklyn 3 or 4 cycles ago, he's caucused with the Republican Party. He has a long shot challenger who will be trying to knock him out, but I think Felder's probably in a pretty strong position. He's Orthodox Jew, and his district is very Orthodox Jewish, so he has a lot of support in his community. But that's also something where grassroots progressives have been really unhappy with his decision to work with Republicans in Albany.
All right, and finally, I do want to ask about the Mario Cuomo Bridge, formerly the Tappan Zee Bridge. So it was going to fall down, it was not going to fall down, it's open, it's not open. When can we start driving across the bridge?
Sure, it looked like it was going to open on Saturday, but the old bridge, there was some instability that was detected, and so they put things off. It looks like Tuesday's the day it'll open. Before that instability was detected, it looked like great timing for the governor. A new bridge, a project that had been delayed for years and years. He finally got it done. There are some questions about, did he rush it? Did he push this to get it done just before the primary? Again, it looks like it'll open in a day or two, and probably everyone will forget about it.
Okay, all right. Well, as we want to remind people, polls are open this Thursday. So definitely get to the polls and make your voices heard. But Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us and refreshing our memory on who was running for what.
Thank you.